I'm a little late on videos this week, but this week we have Age of the Primes, Deluxe Class, Air Raid, finally said the name right, and Skydive. Since Air Raid's been out for a bit, and Skydive's fairly newer still, we're going to start with him. I like this mold a lot. I like the slingshot mold better for slingshot and firefight, but this mold is not bad by any means. More posable than the slingshot mold, mainly because it doesn't have the back kibble on the back of his legs. It's more seamless. It's not as hollow, obviously, which is a good thing in my opinion, and most people's opinions. I'm among the people that didn't really care about the hollowness with slingshot and firefight, but I know it still bugged a lot of people, and that's why I know a lot of people prefer this mold, but also this mode for robot mode. This guy is just a retool of Air Raid, and I'll talk about that more when we get to him, but he does have new guns, or blasters, which is nice. They didn't do that with Slingshot and Firefight, but he does have different blasters from Air Raid, which I appreciate that. I don't really like the colors on this guy as much as the other ones. His design seems the most visually boring in my opinion. However, I do like the orange face to match Slingshot. That was one of my favorite parts of Slingshot, and it's one of my favorite parts here, just because it's another color to add in the mix. Love the design on the wings and the tail fins and stuff. It's really cool. I always like lightning designs because I'm a big fan of the Flash, so that's pretty cool. And I'll talk about that more in alt mode. Back where this mold started though, with Air Raid, surprised I haven't messed up his name yet, but I do like this guy better, only because he's more visually appealing in my opinion. But I do also like his alt mode, but again, we'll get there in alt mode. I did have to paint over the silver a bit already. That's kind of annoying. The paint shipping on this guy is not great, but at the same time, I've had him for months. So I've had him since he came out. So therefore, paint shipping will probably happen the more you transform or mess with the figure or combine mode. So I do understand it, and it is my fault. It is just annoying though. I like these blasters better than the ones that came with Skydive, just because I think they're more unique. I like the fin on top of the gun, I guess. I don't know what it is, while Skydive's is more just like your average Transformers blaster. I like the uniqueness of this guy. Obviously, these two are retools of each other. They're the same mold, but the kibble management is differently for the aesthetic, and I think Air Razor, the way you put his back, the cockpit of the plane, just straight up, it helps his silhouette. You have to more readjust Skydives to be lower. You can still have it like Air Razors, but it doesn't look as good, but it also differentiates the two of them more, which I do like. The single back fin on Skydive does not bug me as much as I thought it would. It doesn't matter, and it does help his balance as well. Well, these ones have kind of gotten loose over time. Here they are with their wave mates, Age of the Primes Slingshot and Age of the Primes Firefight. Age of the Primes Silverbolt. He might be next week's video, but no promises yet. We'll see. Studio Series 86 Mixmaster. Studio Series 86 Scrapper. Studio Series 86 Bone Crusher. Studio Series 86 Long Haul. Studio Series 86 Scavenger. Series 86 Hook. Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. Studio Series Devastation Optimus Prime. Earthrise Optimus Prime. Power of the Primes Optimus Prime. He is so big, I always forget how tall this thing is. I kind of want to review it. Let me know if y'all would want that in the comments. Power of the Primes Orion Pax. I got the Power of the Primes figure specifically for Orion Pax, which is funny now because I don't display him as Orion Pax. I display him on my Optimus shelf as Optimus Prime, but I did want him to display with Alpha Trion and the aerial bots, and hang on one moment. So I do have my whole little mini display over here, all the figures I wanted from here. I guess I am missing an Alita one or an aerial. I know there's that 1-2 pack with her and the other character I'm forgetting the name of. I don't think I'll need that though, specifically because I'm getting just Alita 1, the normal legacy figure, and I don't display him as Orion. I do display Alpha Trion next to Superion though, but we'll get more on that in his review, or their reviews. But yeah, so just a fun little mini display. Now I do think Orion is a little too tall. I think he's supposed to be like the same height as these two. I don't think he's supposed to be closer to Silverbolt than he is with these guys. But at the same time, it works for pictures when I want to like do photography of these guys. And again, I don't display him in Orion mode. And even when I did display him in Orion mode, he was next to Superion, so it worked either way. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Bringing him back in real quick. Age of the Primes Alpha Trion. Studio Series 86 Megatron. Dramatic Capture Series / Earthrise Starscream. Alright, let's get him in vehicle mode. Don't mind the lighting change, I had to go run an errand, but these plane modes look pretty good. We'll do them both at the same time, because I have problems with both, but positives with both. First problem is definitely the kibble on the underside. I don't think it looks as bad on Skydive, because it's all dark colors, so therefore it's kind of hard to notice because the top half is glitter colors. But with Air Raid, it's very noticeable, and you can kind of make him look like a mini Skylynx, which I think is funny. But kibble like that doesn't fully bug me. It was the same like that on Starscream, and yes, I do think Slingshot and Firefly are the best uses of it. Kibble management, even compared to Silverbolt, I don't think these are bad. It's not as bad as Leader Class Blitzwing. Sorry, Blitzwing, you're getting called out. I really like the colors on Skydive, because like I said, I'm just a fan of like lightning bolt textures in the Flash, and I think it looks very cool. I do think the blue fin really stands out, but in a good way. It's just another pop of color, which is nice. The grays all look good. You can see all the good sculpted detail. I really like this alt mode. Air Raid is almost the exact same, but the two fins are cool. I really like how they engineered him to have one fin and him to have two. The way this works is that they're not going to get loose. Like these ones already have started to get loose because they put notches in the peg. So therefore it kind of stays in place. And I think that works a lot better. I would like to see that used more. While with Air Raid, they do get loose over time. But they do have good paint on the fins. So that's kind of cool. I didn't notice that till right now. You can pop out his chest plate. Same thing with Skydive to make the kickstand for, standing, but you don't really need them, to be honest. I've made them balance with just the kibble on the other side of the planes. You can plug their weapons on the back of the wings like Firefly and Slingshot. I don't tend to because I display them in combined mode, but it is an option if you would like that. Alright, let's get comparisons out of the way real quick. Age of the Primes Silverbolt. Age of the Primes Slingshot. Age of the Primes Firefly. Earthrise or Dramatic Capture Series Starscream. This is my favorite plane mode, and I think that it does manage the underside kibble just as well as Slingshot and Firefly. Full review on him if you want to go check that out. Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. Studio Series 86 Megatron. Studio Series Devastation Optimus Prime. Power of the Primes Optimus Prime / Orion Pax. Earthrise Optimus Prime. Studio Series 86 Hook. Studio Series 86 Bone Crusher. Studio Series 86 Mixmaster. Studio Series 86 Scrapper. Studio Series 86 Scavenger. Studio Series 86 Long Haul. And last but not least, Age of the Primes Alpha Trion. Alright, let's get them in combined mode. And here's combined mode. Again, I had to paint over this with silver paint, but the silver doesn't quite match, and it's really bugging me. I don't know, you can't really tell because they're on the back of the legs. They really stick out, and it's like, it's not a problem. It's accurate to the cartoon, but like, it does kind of bug me and some people how much they just stand out. Like with Menasor, I don't have the Legacy Menasor, but like, I know those figures didn't stick out as much as these guys, and I know they kind of have to because that's how they work, but still. So they do just kind of stick out, but over time you get used to it and it doesn't bug me as much, but still. I know it does bug some people, but thankfully I've gotten a little used to it. It bugs me occasionally, but on my display you can't really tell. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for next week. Sorry this video was a little late. Bye-bye!